let me also make this clear. Medical negligence or medical errors are part of medical practice.
Acceptable?
Every country you visit in this world.
Acceptable part of medical practice?
Hold on. What I'm saying is that it is not an acceptable thing. However, because it borders on patient safety. However, it is something that you cannot do away with. If you go to all the jurisdictions on earth, medical errors, medical negligence, one way or the other happen. If you go to the United States, where they have the best medical services, that is where you also find the highest numbers of cases that border on medical negligence. If you visit the US today, some television stations, YouTube, what have you, you find people advertising, lawyers advertising, no win, no claim, that borders on medical negligence and what have you. So the fact that we have medical negligence in Ghana is not unique to this country. It exists everywhere. That is not to say we should not do our best to make sure we minimize sin. Minimization of sin sometimes comes at a cost, but we have to do it. If you go to the US, there is something we call defensive medicine. It arose as a result of medical suits that were very rampant. And defensive practice or defensive medicine basically means that no professional or health professional is ready to entertain any little errors or any little gaps in whatever they do. So you visit a hospital and you do a barrage of investigations that sometimes might be seen as not necessary, but they don't want to leave room. So because of that, it has also become a burden for them as far as their medical care system is concerned. And I remember in 2003, the then President George Bush, in the American Medical Association's annual conference, where he delivered a speech, he made a statement that there are too many frivolous lawsuits against good doctors, and the patients are paying the price. What it means is that at the least, people are ready to sue because they believe that there's been some negligence or whatever. So these good doctors, good medical practice, these frivolous lawsuits will go towards them. But the patients are now paying the price in the nature of the cost associated with defensive medicine. However, we should also be quick to add that the fact that some of these negligent problems that we have in our system, the cases that are piling up, some are also based on the defects inherent in our medical system. The outdated equipment, the lack of equipment, the lack of facilities, the lack of sometimes basic things like running water that actually increase the risk of, hospital-acquired infections because doctors, nurses cannot even get basic things like water to wash their hands and keep the basic hygiene that is needed. So it's a bigger problem than we think.